year is 2002. Manny Pacquiao, after rising through the ranks of Philippine boxing and making a big splash in an even bigger America, wants to go from a 2-weight world champion all the way up to a 3-weight.
Maraming salamat sa suporta nyo, sa pagdasal nyo. Kung dahil sa inyo, nanalo ako ng knockout.
But first, a former champion named Jorge Julio wants to steal what Pacman has worked so effortlessly for in a grueling yet well-deserved 12-round bout. Will the old but wise champion Julio show that experience trounces flashiness, or will Pacquiao's journey as a formidable threat only now be going into second gear? Welcome back to Boxing After Dark. Tonight, we're reminiscing over the early years of a future legend and one of its most remarkable chapters. Let's get into it. In 2002, Manny Pacquiao was yet to have some of the more eye-catching wins that he'd later be known for. There's no Eric Morales, Ricky Hatton, Oscar De La Hoya, or Adrian Broner yet on his resume. But there was a tremendous amount of potential. Yes, Pacman had faltered twice in his career so far with a record of 33-2. But one of those was at the age of 17, and the other was against a solid knockout artist, Medgon Sincharat, in a bout that Pacquiao was clearly unready for. But an essential aspect of this second loss that's often undermined is that this is what caused the boy in Manny to be killed and the legend to be born.
I always said, you never know when the next Muhammad Ali is going to walk through your door. And then one day, this little Filipino kid, 122 pounds, and he comes up to me, could barely speak English. His manager, Mr. Nazario, says, "We hear you're pretty good on the mitts." I said, "I'm okay." After one round, we clicked like we knew each other our whole life.
After losing this title, the race to become the champion again was on. And it'd be 2 years later when that moment would come in the super bantamweight division against the underrated Lenololo Leduaba.
I had never seen him. I frankly had never heard of him. But I've seen and heard of him now.
After just one defense against the also-talented Agapito Sanchez, which ended in a draw on the doctor's orders, the great within Pacquiao had awoken, and he refused to be stepped on or overlooked again. And this is where Jorge Julio comes in. Fight night arrived on the 8th of June 2002, as the Pacman, then going by the name of the Destroyer, made his way to the ring. The screaming and sputtering crowd had already crowned their champion before the bout had begun. After the challenger enters the ring, the two touch gloves and the bell rings for the first time.
Into the ring. Maldonado was also the manager of Agapito Sanchez, who fouled Pacquiao so ruthlessly in San Francisco, and Freddie Roach said to us yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if Julio tries to do the same doggone thing. Freddie says he would like for Pacquiao to learn to foul a guy back when he fouls him.
Can't imagine anyone fouling me when I were fighting that many times.
Big left hand by Pacquiao. Julio stops him in his tracks there with a left hand counter. Pacquiao has already gotten some of Julio's respect for his power. You may be biting off something more than you can chew. A lot of crab. Oh, big left hand by Pacquiao. But then you taste the power and sort of get used to it, right, Bobby? Pacquiao with a body shot after missing with the wild right hand. Pacquiao wants to be Julio, a little bit more of a change-up artist.
And one of the things, there's a beautiful straight left hand by Pacquiao. When you punch that hard, as Pacquiao is, it takes a lot of energy to start those punches.
Oh, that's a huge left-hand shot, and the right-hand shot.
No, not done. Don't pull him down,
to make those punches hit something.
Body shot by Pacquiao. Julio seems a little bit flustered by Manny's power. And the first round comes to a close.
Round one finds Manny Pacquiao looking fresh and elegant as he pounds on pressure from the opening bell. A war is traded from the beginning of the 3 minutes to the end. And despite Pacquiao looking the better of the two, Julio is taking the power better than many other opponents of Pacman thus far.
Julio went to the canvas. Now round two begins by Pacquiao. And you heard Julio's corner saying, hit him in the belly. And down goes Julio.
It was a perfect execution of what he was told in the corner. Double jab and throw the left hand. He did it. Look what we see. Freddie Roach told him to go in behind the double jab and followed him with the left hand. He did it twice in a row, and the second one dropped Julio.
This is some prospect, Bob. Bobby. To me, he's every bit as exciting as Prince Nassim Hamed.
He really...
No 3 knockdown rule in effect.
I think Julio's going to have trouble finishing this round. I really do.
Julio trying to fight his way back. A little grabbing and holding might be the thing to do. Pacquiao's just getting ready to swing away again. And Bill Clancy's seen enough. Devastating second round TKO for Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao so quick, so aggressive, and hurt Julio so much in the first minute of the round that the veteran fighter never even really tried to grab and hold or buy time.
Despite his young age, Pacman had the showings of a true champion with the wisdom of an experienced fighter.
All the belt, I want to unify that in 122 and 126 pounds. Any opponent.
Jorge Julio's professional career after this fight was an unfortunate yet unsurprisingly short one, fighting only one more time professionally against Israel Vazquez, another legend of the bantamweight division, who would knock out Julio and lead him to retire with an indubitably respectable record of 44-5. Manny Pacquiao's career, meanwhile, was only just getting started, even though he was 37 fights into his career. After becoming a world champion in another 6 weight divisions and defeating most of the greats of his time, Pacquiao would retire with a beautiful record of 62-8, with a handful of losses being shrouded in controversy and many wins being glorified for their significance to the sport and incredible performances. Manny, since retirement, has teased potential professional comebacks along with Olympic returns and exhibitions. But after the falling through of a potential rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr., it's unclear what Manny will do next. But either way, all boxing fans will undoubtedly follow and admire what he sets out to achieve in the future.